Hi there, and welcome to this short introduction to Images of Organisations, the online version. So I'm going to start by signing in at experientiallearningtools.com platform. And when we arrive, I'm going to choose the RSVP design organisation, and I'm going to create a new session from the drop-down list for Images of Organisations. It a name, and we have a start time, so I'm going to create that session. And then, as normal, we're going to import some participants from a CSV file. So I now have my 8 participants, and I can move from the draft to the planning stage. So everyone will receive an invitation email link to these 16 images. So now I'm ready to go. I'm going to send the invitations. So here you can copy the link if someone hasn't received it, to send it in chat or via another email system. And if we move into the activity bar, then at the start it will show me, when I start the session, who has yet to click and select the card. So I'm pressing Start Session. At this point, the view for each participant will change, and they'll be able to select a card based on the questions that I've posed them. So for example, it may be pick 2 cards, one that represents how the team is performing right now and how you'd like to see it performing in a month or a year's time. So I can now see that we just have learner 4 and learner 8 to select a card, so I can remind them to do that. So I can now see that everyone has selected a card, and we can move on to the discussion phase. So in this phase, I can now see each image that the learner has selected, and I can choose to put any of them on stage. So I can either ask for volunteers or indeed select someone. So if, for example, I'm selecting learner 4 to put on stage, you can see that moves to active. At any point, I can click on any of the images if I want to have some suggestions for questions that I may want to ask them in relation to the images. And all of the learners will see just the images that have been selected when this participant is put on stage. So, for example, learner 4 will only see their own 2 cards. But as you can see, this is now learner 1's view, and again, the active user is learner 4, so they'll only see their cards. So when everyone has had a chance to explain their choice of cards, we can move on to a final review stage if required. And at this stage, each participant will see all of the images back again, this time ranked in the order that they were selected. So in this case, this cartoon was chosen by 5 different participants. Again, if necessary, I can click on any of these cartoons, and it will provide, just to the facilitator, some suggested questions that you may want to ask in relation to that image being chosen. And of course, good practice, when you're finished, please do remember to end the session so that you don't use a license. Thank you very much for watching this introduction, and enjoy using Images of Organisations.